You got this. You're gonna walk in there and crush it. They're lucky to have you. Just, don't say anything weird. Be normal. Be professional. You're a professional now.
Who's ready for onboarding?
I'll do it.
You want to start today?
Mm-hmm.
You sure you're ready?
Yeah.
Log him in.
What with the possession and all? Okay. Hey Bear, it's been a real crazy week for you, huh?
This is genuine. This is how they smile.
We've got a couple interesting articles today. Some about workforce, future of jobs, some cool futuristic things, and then something about space. And it's not in that order. But we're going to start with the state of the global workplace.
Clear eyes, full hearts, can't we?
Oh, we might even... yeah, it's 142. Okay, well, yeah, we'll take a little skim. A little skim you'll do later. Okay, what is the state of the global workplace? What is the state there? Oh, here we go. Parts. We love a good section. What is the state? That's where we are. Part 1, employee engagement on the brink. Part 2, how's your life going? Part 3, 3 actions for leaders. Global workplace data, regional workplace data, how Gallup measure... Wow, I cannot speak today. How Gallup measures the state of global workplace. Fascinating. Alright, this thing's going to stay on the left. Let me see if I can just zoom in a little bit. Just a tad. Oh, just kidding. A little zoom. Plus. Okay, there we go. Oops, I've gone too far. Oh, that's it. It's a little accordion, got it. Alright, last year global employee engagement fell, costing the world economy $438 billion. You know what? I'm going to do a little work. What is it called? Goosebumps? Do a little goosebumps. How do you get this data? Yeah, fascinating. Employee engagement reflects the involvement and enthusiasm of employees in their workplace. Employees can become engaged when their basic needs are met. Yeah, okay, what does that even mean though? Because like you get a paycheck, but like is that what that means? Because it might not be enough if you're getting underpaid, especially maybe if you're like a server, hospitality, something tip-based, alright, rambling. And they have a chance to contribute a sense of belonging and opportunities to learn and grow. Alright. Gallup categorizes employees as engaged, not engaged, or actively disengaged. That sounds really bad, the third one. Engaged employees are thriving at work. They are highly involved in and enthusiastic about their work and workplace. They are psychological owners of drive, performance, and innovation and move the organization forward. Okay, that's what I like. Depending on the place. Not engaged employees are quietly quitting. They are psychologically unattached to their work and company because their engagement needs are not being fully met. They are putting time behind, but not energy or passion into their work. That's such a bummer. Actively disengaged employees are loudly quitting. They aren't just unhappy at work, they are resentful that their needs are not being met and are acting out their unhappiness. Every day these workers potentially undermine what they're engaged. Ugh, that's bad. Okay, what their engaged co-workers accomplish. Jeez. How Gallup measures employee engagement. To determine percentage of engaged, not engaged, and actively disengaged employees, Gallup uses a proprietary formula founded on extensive research about how the engagement elements as measured by Gallup Q relate to various workplace outcomes. For this reason, employee engagement is a much higher bar than merely satisfaction of metrics that combine strongly agreed responses into a percent favorable engagement index. I'm going to skip this last paragraph. Oh, okay, this is what is that thing? Maslow's. This is the work Maslow hierarchy of needs. Basic needs Q1, Q2, individual contribution Q3, 4, 5, 6, teamwork 7, 8, 9, 10, growth 11, 12. Last year I've had opportunities to work and grow. Last 6 months someone at work has talked to me about my progress. I have best friends at work. My associates and fellow employees are committed to doing quality work. The mission and purpose of my company makes me feel my job is important. At work, my opinions seem to count. There is someone at work who encourages my development. My superior, someone at work, seems to care about me as a person. In the last 7 days, I have received recognition or praise for doing good work. At work, I have the opportunity to do what I do best every day. I have the materials and equipment I need to do my work right. I know what is expected of me at work. Okay. How Gallup measures well-being. And we're done with this one. That's a lot longer than I thought, which is a little curiosity. Back to our workplace. Alright, primary cause was... Okay, things are looking bad. Engagement is dropping. The primary cause was a drop in manager engagement. Oh, okay. Managers have been asked to square the circle of new executive demands and exploit expectations. We are starting to see the toll, but it is not going to stop with managers. Manager engagement affects team engagement, which affects productivity. Business performance and ultimately GDP growth is at risk if executive leaders do not address manager breakdown. That's a nice little photo. A hotel. Look at the talk. Disengagement cost the world economy $438 billion in 2024. Global employment engagement fell 2 points to 21% last year, with lost productivity costing the global economy $438 billion. Now, wow, that's insane. Engaged employees produce better business outcomes than disengaged employees, and engaged teams have a measurable impact on organizational performance. That's not very high. 27, that's like... Is that half? That's like a third, right? It's not even half of a failing grade. The top of the... Okay, well, I don't know what I'm saying. Manager engagement fell from 30% to 27% in 2024. Young managers and female managers experienced the largest declines. Wow. -2. 33% of the world's employees say they are thriving in their lives overall. Okay, so that's happy. That's good. We like that. We love that. 9.6 trillion in productivity could be added to the global economy if the global workforce was fully engaged. Jeez. Okay. Part 1. Engagement on the brink. In 2024, the global percentage of engaged employees fell from 23 to 21. Engagement has fallen twice in the past 12 years, 2020 and 2024. Last 2 years, drop point in engagement was equal to the decline during COVID lockdown and shelter-in-place orders. What caused the decline? Okay. Are you telling me now what caused the decline? There was disruption in post-pandemic retirements and turnover, hiring boom and bust. That's true, just so true. Rapidly restructured teams and departments, shrinking budgets as stimulus programs ended, disrupted supply chains, new customer expectations, digital transformation, and AI tools, new employees' desires regarding flexibility and remote work. How managers describe their jobs. Okay, difficult decisions put pressure on me psychologically, such as hiring, and sometimes there aren't many resources, and there are also disputes between employees facing problems, new systems, and so on. Since our leaders don't stay long and move to other departments before we can fully know them, it's hard to develop trust. Oh, okay. South Korea, the other one was Saudi Arabia. We should have a team of 6 people. There's only 2 of us. I think that is very stressful. South Africa. I mean, my guys will do anything I ask of them, and I love my guys, but there's no enthusiasm. I'm not asking anybody to be jumping around because we got work to do, but you can just feel it. It's in the US. Why does manager engagement matter? People are more productive at work. Okay, that's more money, hopefully more happiness. They are absent less and produce more. They build better customer relationships and close more sales. If managers are disengaged, their teams are too. Wow. The relationship is so strong, it shows up in country level data. Voices of global workplace, how employees describe their manager. My supervisor was by far the deciding factor that made me think about whether I really wanted to continue with this. Germany. My favorite manager was willing to help me. Somebody who wants to see me shine, grow. Somebody who motivates and encourages you. Those were the best moments I've ever had with her. South Africa. I'm satisfied with my job because I receive appreciation and incentives from the management, and I am also satisfied with what I provide for the children. Oh, wonderful. Saudi Arabia. The best manager I've ever had was not here. No. It was a long time ago, and they were so on top of everything. They never let anything fall between the cracks, and they were always so caring about us. Wonderful, Patricia. How's life going? 1/3. That's... It just honestly sounds really awful. I would have overall, if we zoom out of this chart, how about what the numbers look like? Ooh. Half of employees who are engaged at work and thriving in life overall, compared with only a third of employees who are not engaged. Engaged employees are also less likely to report experiencing daily negative emotions, including stress. Part 3, actions for leaders. Ensure all managers receive training to cut extreme manager disengagement in half. What? Teach managers effective coaching techniques to boost manager performance. Increase manager well-being. Okay. Wow, look at that. It's insane difference right here. 70% of best practice organizations. What are those guys doing?
Hand on the keyboard. Alright, somebody set a calendar reminder. As soon as he logs in, it cannot go for more than 90 days. Am I clear? What happens after 90 days?
The 90-day rule is quite simple, really.
They'll want you to stay. So corpo. And if you burn out while you're with us?
And we're on number 2, NASA web pushes. This one's super short, so do with that what you will. Oh, maybe it doesn't matter. Web pushes boundaries of observable universe closer to Big Bang. What could it mean? NASA's James Webb Space Telescope has topped itself, once again delivering on its promise to push the boundaries of the observable universe closer to cosmic dawn. What does that even mean? What is this word? What? Cosmic dawn. Is this going to take me to Wikipedia? Cosmic dawn? How did the first galaxies in the universe form, and did they make the universe transparent to light? What? That's a whole other rabbit hole. Okay, cosmic dawn. With the confirmation of a bright galaxy that existed 280 million years after the Big Bang, by now Webb has established that it will eventually surpass virtually every benchmark it sets in these early years. But the newly confirmed galaxy MOM Z14 holds intriguing clues to the universe's historical timeline. With Webb, we are able to see farther than humans ever have before, and it looks like nothing that what we predicted, which is both challenging and exciting. Rohan Naidu of Massachusetts, of MIT, Kavli Institute of Astrophysics and Space Research, lead author of paper Galaxy MOM Z14, published on the Open Journal of Astrophysics. Due to the expansion of the universe that is driven by dark energy, discussion of physical distances and years ago become tricky when looking this far. Using Webb's NIR spec, near infrared spectrogram graph instrument, astronomers confirmed that MOM Z14 has a cosmological redshift of 14.44, meaning that its light has been traveling through expanding space, being stretched and shifted to longer, redder wavelengths for about 13.5 of the universe's estimated 13.8 billion years of existence. We can estimate the distance of galaxies from images, but it's really important to follow up and confirm with more detailed spectroscopy so that we know exactly what we are seeing and when, said Pascal. Intriguing features. MOM Z14 is one of a growing group of surprisingly bright galaxies in the early universe, 100 times more than theoretical studies predicted before the launch of Webb. How cool is that? What other kind of mysteries are out there waiting for us? There is a growing chasm between theory and observation related to the early universe, which presents compelling questions to be explored going forward. One place researchers and theorists can look for answers is the oldest population of stars in the Milky Way galaxy. A small percentage of these stars have shown a high amount of nitrogen, which is also showing up in some of Webb's observations of early galaxies. We can take a page from archaeology and look at these ancient stars in our own galaxy, like fossils from the early universe. Except in astronomy, we are lucky enough to have Webb seeing so far that we also have direct information about galaxies during that time. It turns out we are seeing some of the same features, like this unusual nitrogen enrichment, said Naidu. With galaxy MOM Z14 existing only 280 million years after the Big Bang, there was not enough time for a generation of stars to produce such a high amounts of nitrogen in the way that astronomers would expect. One theory the researchers note is that the dense environment of the early universe resulted in supermassive stars capable of producing more nitrogen than any stars observed in the local universe. The galaxy MOM Z14 also shows sign of clearing out the thick primordial hydrogen fog of the early universe in the space around itself. One of the reasons Webb was originally built was to define the timelines for this clearing period of cosmic history, which astronomers call reionization. This is when early stars produced light of high enough energy to break through the dense hydrogen gas of the early universe and begin traveling through space, eventually making its way to Webb and us. Galaxy MOMZ14 provides another clue for mapping out the timeline of reionization, work that was not possible until Webb lifted the veil on this era of the universe. Fascinating. The legacy of discovery continues. Even before Webb's launch, there were hints that something very unanticipated happened in the early universe. When NASA's Hubble Space Telescope discovered the bright galaxy GNZ11 400 million years after the Big Bang, Webb confirmed the galaxy's distance, at the time the most distant ever. From there, Webb has continued to push back farther and farther in space and time, finding more surprisingly bright galaxies like GNZ11. As Webb continues to uncover more of these unexpectedly luminous galaxies, it's clear that the first few were not a fluke. Astronomers are eagerly anticipating that NASA's upcoming Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope, with its combination of high-resolution infrared imaging and extremely wide field of view, will boost the sample of these bright, compact, chemically enriched, and early galaxies into thousands. To figure out what is going on in the early universes, we really need more information, more detailed observation with Webb, and more galaxies to see where the common features are, which Rowan will be able to provide, said Yija Lee, a graduate student at the Pennsylvania State University and a member of the research team. It's an incredibly exciting time with Webb revealing the early universe like never before and showing us how much there still is to discover. The James Webb Space Telescope is the world's premier space science observatory. Webb is solving mysteries in our solar system, looking beyond two distant worlds around other stars and probing the mysterious structures and origins of our universe and our place in it. Webb is an international program led by NASA with its partners ESA, European Space Agency, and CSA, Canadian Space Agency. Thank you. Let's do, I don't mind if I do because I would like to see some images. Thank you for offering. Ooh, latest images. Wow, look at that. How fascinating. Are we in this picture? What is this? Intricacies of Helix Nebula. Okay, interesting. Well, yeah.
Light the candle to open the portal. Blow it out to close it.
Approachable. Trustworthy. Team player.
Oh! What was that? Who the heck was that? Who's that?
Someone was sitting there. I swear.
Boom. With living robots, scientists unlock cells' power to heal. Check out this guy. Oh. Professor Michael Levin's research into how cells work collectively has already led to artificial living organisms. Could it also help us fight cancer or regrow limbs? Stay tuned, friends. Let's dive in, as they say. By Laura Castañor. Thank you, Laura. Near the entrance to Michael Levin's lab at Tufts, 4 deer antlers are mounted on wood boxes. They represent an incredible feat of regeneration in mammals. Deer shed their antlers annually and regrow the bone, blood vessels, nerves, and skin at a rate of half an inch per day. That's pretty darn fast, if you ask me. Human regenerative abilities are much more limited. You would know, fellow human. While we can grow scar tissue to heal wounds, knit fractured bone back together, and even regrow portions of some organs, this regeneration isn't as quick or complex as that of the deer antlers. And we certainly can't regrow a lost leg the way that some amphibians can. At least not yet. 11. A92. Vannevar Bush, professor of biology at the School of Arts and Sciences, is convinced that our cells have untapped regenerative capabilities if only we can learn to speak their language. His lab working to unlock the full potential of our cells, providing new ways to fight cancer, reverse degenerative diseases, repair congenital anomalies, and perhaps someday even regrow limbs. Unlike other approaches to regenerative medicine, which may involve gene editing or stem cell therapy, Levin's goal is to take advantage of what the body already knows. The steps involved in creating an eye or limb are too complex to micromanage, he says. But perhaps, with the right set of signals, we can give the body a new goal and let the intelligent group of cells manage the details and how to achieve it. Very cool. We don't want to try to tell every cell and every gene what to do, Levin said. We're not looking to teach cells how to grow a leg. We're looking to convince them that that's what they should do. Okay. Look at that. Okay. In Levin's lab, my multicellular robots called anthrobots are formed of human tracheal cells with hair-like projections on their surfaces, shown in yellow, that propel them. The tiny anthrobots can move across damaged nerve cells and help them heal, and researchers say that's just the start of what they might do. Oh, okay, this is yellow frilly stuff, got it. When Levin talks about the intelligence of cells, he doesn't mention brains. He cites a definition from William James, an American psychologist and philosopher in the late 19th century, who described intelligence as the ability to achieve the same goal in multiple ways. By this definition, a system is intelligent if it can have and achieve goals, even when faced with unexpected hurdles. The system could be a creature, a machine, an organ, or a single cell. If it can problem solve, it has a kind of intelligence. Individual cells can solve simple problems and have simple goals, survival and reproduction. But once cells start to work together, they create a collective intelligence capable of remembering and achieving larger goals, such as forming the systems and organs that make up the body, friend. That wasn't in the article I added that, friend, but it's the collective intelligence that Levin hopes to understand and harness, even as new discoveries in the lab create opportunities for development in biomedicine or other areas. They provide tantalizing pieces of information about how cells talk to each other and what they are capable of. It's a puzzle that Levin has been putting together for most of his career, and one that he expects will take at least another decade to complete. Our work is not solved, he said. We know cells are talking to each other, but we don't know what they're saying yet. We still need to crack the code. Oh, heavens me. I've been reading for 4 minutes and maybe the fourth of the way done. Let's see, try to finish it up. The cognitive glue for cells. Cells in developing embryo need to be in constant communication, working together to determine what to build and where to build it. They store and send these communal blueprints and electrical signals indicating left and right sides, when tissue should become organs, or when to stop building toes. With the correct tools, Levin and his colleagues have been able to view these signals, watching tadpoles develop an electric face, patterns of activity that show the future locations of the eyes, nose, and mouth long before the cells started to form those structures. Bioelectricity allows a bunch of cells to connect into a network that can compute and store memories, much larger goals. Levin said, your individual cells have no idea what a finger is or how many fingers you should have, but a collective of cells absolutely does. Create cells and share bioelectric signals through gateways in the cell membrane called ion channels. Ion channels allow certain charged molecules to pass through the membrane, creating different charges inside and outside of the cell, akin to the positive and negative sides of a battery. The movement of the ions through the membranes creates tiny electrical currents. Let's watch 1 minute. Amphibian eggs injected with, or microinjected with RNA. Okay, the egg membrane is removed. Stem cell tissue then harvested from the embryo. Okay, tissue formed into a sphere. So it knows what to do. It looks. This tissue formed into a sphere. beautiful music. Okay, I'm sorry you couldn't hear that. Levin describes bioelectricity as the cognitive glue holding our cells together in the brain, where groups of neurons rapidly shuffle ions around to create strong, fast signals. Bioelectricity controls how we process information and move through space. In other parts of our bodies, where the signals are smaller, slower, and often overlooked, it holds a sort of collective memory that tells cells how to create the physical structure our body requires and how to respond when those structures are damaged. By learning to decipher and manipulate these subtler bioelectric signals, Levin hopes to find new ways to help our body heal itself. The lab has made a variety of promising discoveries that reveal some of bioelectricity's therapeutic potential. In one experiment, the researchers were able to use a computational model to predict a normal voltage pattern for a developing frog embryo and determine how those patterns were being disrupted by exposure to nicotine, which causes abnormal brain development. The researchers found a treatment that would restore normal voltage patterns. As a result, frog embryos were able to repair and recover from the nicotine-induced defects. Levin's team has also been exploring a bioelectric approach to cancer treatments viewed through the lens of bioelectricity. Cancerous cells are the ones that have become disconnected from a cellular communication network and are acting as individuals. Levin and his colleagues have shown that blocking some ion channels and restoring normal bioelectric patterns can reconnect cancer cells to the larger network and rein in the rogue cells. Despite cancerous mutations, the cells behave normally.
Where'd he go? Bear, stop. You didn't do it right. You gotta say, I accept the company culture.
I accept the company culture.
No, I'm spiraling. Seriously, Bear? Shut up. No, someone was sitting there. Okay, I'm proving it. Atta Bear, prove it. Prove it. That's right. Say it.
They do the right thing because they're sharing all their memories with other cells through these electrical synapses, and their goals are now organ-level goals, Levin said. They no longer just want to make copies of themselves. The researchers also determined that they could identify early stages of cancer formation in tadpoles by tracking unusual variations in the electrical patterns of individual cells. The discovery could spur the development of new bioelectric diagnostic tools. Let's see what this person's doing. I'm so sorry, I'm going to slaughter your name. Gizem Gumuskaya, 8023, conducts research with microscopic living robots called Arthrobots, which are made of human tracheal cells. Could we take cells from a patient, make personal Arthrobots, and use them to help heal neural damage, she asked? That's the application we're working toward. Photo. Okay. Team has even made progress toward the goal of regenerating whole body parts. Levin and David Kaplan Stern, family endowed professor of engineering, created a device packed with a cocktail of drugs intended to tweak the behavior of cellular ion channels and encourage growth. The device allowed an adult frog, which can't usually regenerate limbs, to regrow a functional leg. Wow. Impressively, the device needed to be applied only for 24 hours. What? To jumpstart the regeneration process, the two researchers have created a company called Morphoceuticals to develop this work for clinical applications, starting with studying its use in mammals. We aren't using any external stimulation. We are using the same interface that cells and tissues use to hack each other in the body, Levin said. By tweaking these ion channels, we play that interface like a piano and get it to have different kinds of electrical computations. The challenge is determining what tune the researchers need to play to get all the behaviors they're looking for. In tadpoles, Levin and his colleagues can convince groups of cells to create functional eyes, hearts, and limbs. In planaria, small brown flatworms with remarkable capacity for regeneration, Levin's teams can encourage the growth of multiple heads and even cause one species to develop a head of a separate, closely related species, revealing the kind of information that different signals can carry. In other organisms, the researchers are examining voltage patterns associated with aging and trying to reverse those effects. The team doesn't yet have a cohesive understanding of how to interpret the specific signals that cells are sending and how to persuade the cells to, say, repair damaged organs or fend off degenerative disease. At the moment, we're taking all these independent phenomena that are linked by the same process and trying to develop a deeper understanding of the biology of it, said Patrick Millen. He's worked at the lab for the last 7 years. Each experiment reveals more about the previously overlooked role of bioelectricity and brings the researchers closer to being able to unlock the same potential in human cells. Wow, BioBots Beyond. Levin's work continually shows that collectives of cells are capable of much more than we typically give them credit for. They are problem-solving machines, and when given new instructions, they can accomplish tasks far beyond what they normally do in the body. The clearest example of this is the lab's BioBots microscopic robots made of living cells that have been cut loose from organisms' bioelectric signals to become independent actors. They have been freed from the constraints of being a part of a body and allowed to be whatever they can be. The lab's xenobots are millimeter-wide blobs made from several different kinds of cells. From Xenopus laevis, the African clawed frog, the xenobots live for about a week and can repair themselves when damaged. The researchers use a combination of muscle cells and skin cells with hair-like projections called cilia, which would typically move mucus across the frog's skin to design xenobots to propel themselves across a petri dish and work together to sweep specks of debris into a pile. We've learned a lot of new rules about how cells self-assemble in tissues and are not obvious when looking at an intact system, said Doug Blackiston, the sea scientist in the Allen Discovery Center who sculpted the original xenobots by hand. By moving things around and playing with biology, you get new insight into the basic science. This is so long. I really need to... Okay, we're on the home stretch. A special imaging technique reveals bioelectric patterns in a frog's embryo skin using a voltage-sensitive fluorescent light dye. Right, whoops. The patterns aren't visible with the voltage-intensive control dye left. That. Blackison sees possibilities for using xenobots in the environment. The tiny clumps of cells would carry sensors to measure environmental pollutants such as BPA or drug compounds in wastewater, or they might be used to collect and concentrate rare minerals for easier extraction. They are also a stepping stone to other discoveries. In November, the lab announced the creation of Arthrobots, similarly active clusters run for adult human tracheal cells. The researchers use the tracheal cells because they have cilia. Oh, I feel like we just read this up there. BioBots and Beyond. Is this like a whole new thing? These bots can move across damaged site. I don't know. We're here now. Sit there and actually help nerves knit across, essentially repairing the damage in the course of 3 days. Could we take cells from a patient, make personal Arthrobots, and use them to help heal neural damage? That's the application we're looking for. Yeah, I feel like I read this already. 2 more paragraphs. Because the Arthrobots will be created from a patient's own cells, they will be able to move through the body without being attacked by the immune system, and healing neural damage is just the start of what they could enable. Levin imagines Arthrobots dropping off regenerative molecules, chasing down cancer cells, cleaning the plaque from arteries, and who knows what else. We've already shown they can heal neural wounds, and that's just the baseline. We haven't even started programming them yet. They are amazing, and they are an amazing platform for biomedicine and also a sandbox in which we get to understand the collective intelligence of cells. Boom.
Sign it, sign it, sign it, sign it, sign it, sign it.
Okay.
Log me in.
Hey, don't log out, Bear. Do not log out. I can't look at it. You don't have to read it. Just sign it. I can't.
When's the next all hands?
Boom, boom, and that last article took entirely too long, so we're just gonna skip this job report because I feel like we already read one. Here we go. Okay. Mayo Clinic study finds active workstations may improve cognitive performance. Oh, look at that. She's got little sockies on. A recent Mayo Clinic study suggests that active workstations incorporating a walking pad, bike, stepper, or standing desk are successful strategies for reducing sedentary time and improving mental cognition at work without reducing job performance. Extended sedentary behavior, whether at work or home, increases a person's risk of preventable chronic diseases. Our findings suggest that it is feasible to blend movement with office work that is previously would have been done during long periods of sitting. Active workstations may include a way to potentially improve cognitive performance and overall health. Good stuff. The research involved 44 participants in a randomized clinical trial where 4 office settings were evaluated for over 4 consecutive days. At the Mayo Clinic study, findings are published in the journal. Okay, great. The settings include a stationary or sitting station on the first day, followed by 3 active workstations, standing, walking, and using a stepper, in randomized order. Researchers analyzed the participants' neurocognitive functions based on 11 assessments that evaluated reasoning, short-term memory, and concentration. Fine motor skills were assessed through an online typing test and other tests. When participants used the active workstations, their brain functions either improved or stayed the same, and their typing speed slowed down a bit. However, the accuracy of their typing speed was not affected. The study revealed improved reasoning scores when standing, stepping, and walking compared to sitting. That's fascinating. Being sedentary is the new smoking when it comes to your cardiovascular health, and office workers may spend a large part of an 8-hour day sitting at a computer, screen, and keyboard. These findings indicate that there are more ways to do the work while remaining productive and mentally sharp. Good. Yes. So, if you can, maybe like a couple breaks, little walk-up breaks, little eye breaks, little walkie-walkie something, I don't know. That's it, folks. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, which I don't think anybody actually has yet, but if you skipped through, I love you. Have a beautiful day, have a beautiful life, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.